Hope I say something that makes sense.
Well, tell us who you are and where you're from,
My name is Brian Whitfield. I'm from Lansing, Michigan.
and tell us about your installation here at Our Prize 2022.
Well, this installation has to do with not really answering any questions. The only question it has to answer is who's next. You know, and it talks about are you next to be afraid? Are you next to create legislation that's going to change the gun violence in this country? Are you next to have mental issues that causes you to want to go out and shoot up a school? Are the young kids who are going to be afraid to go to school because you're afraid? So that's the real question. So it doesn't answer a broader question. Like, it doesn't tell you what this piece is about, but it just kind of asks that question: who's next?
Wow, it's great. How did you come up with the concept, and what made you feel compelled to do a piece of artwork to relate it?
Of course, I love Art Prize, and every year I try to do a new piece for Art Prize, and so this year I was just brainstorming, and the shooting in Buffalo kind of affected me, so I decided to do a piece that addressed the violence and gun violence in this country, and mass shootings.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the specifics about the piece? There's, of course, there's some guns here. We're gonna
Yeah.
and then the targets, the ducks.
Yeah, I tried to put different elements that have come to be recognized through these violent killings, and of course on this side you have the 60s, where the violence from the 60s happened. I tried to move forward from that. You have insurrectionists, and taking the place of whites only. You have insurrectionists, because that seems to be the thing happening now in your drinking fountain. And up here you have abolitionists, and it's kind of pointing an arrow to this direction. Then you go around to the corner and you have the ducks with the different symbols on them. You have LGBTQ team. You have African American colors. You have the Jewish ducks, and those people have through history have been affected by violence, and so I want to put that in there. Then you have this is like a teacher's desk, and the shooting in Uvalde, Texas. I want to kind of represent that, so I included a book and some rulers that would probably be on a teacher's desk, and then I have this is kind of showing that what maybe a mass shooter would be attracted to if he was kind of come into a carnival, because so you have the guns, you have the different toys, and I have the mirrors in here to reflect your reflection, so you can see yourself in this. Who's next? Am I next? Am I next going to be the one who's going to address these issues? Am I going to be the next one to be afraid because I'm afraid to go into a school? Am I going to be the next parents who mourn their child? So that's what this is about. And that piece over there kind of shows you some of the kids that were murdered, then the parents, and then some of the politicians who can create legislation to change some of this. And it kind of revolves, and we go through this thing all the time, and it never seems to change. It's like the carnival barker saying, come on, step right up. Who's next to play this game? And so the next thing that happens, we're going to go through the same thing over and over again. So this kind of addressing those issues and just not really asking a specific question, like what are we going to do about it, but who's next? Who's next to do something about it?
How about this side over here, Brian?
Oh, this side addresses the kids or the people that were killed in the Buffalo store. I think it was called Tops, the Tops store in Buffalo. And each person represents a person that was killed in that. The name tag has their name, and then the large number has their age that they died, and then the small number has their birthday. And then I have at the top just things that make you think. You know, knock off the targets to get points. You know, so you know these things are happening like it's a game. So then I have pardon points, and I have addressed all the different issues like somebody getting killed while sleeping, somebody getting shot while sitting, somebody getting the church that was shot, Manual AME Church in North Carolina. That addresses that, and the people walking, getting shot, and people praying, and people shopping, of course.
And like as you said, it's really more asking the question, but what do you hope people take away from it?
I really just want people to think about, you know, how can we get out of this game, this play that we keep running over and over again. I want people to be drawn into it by the colors and by the attractiveness of it, but then look at it and say, oh, this is not so pretty. This is addressing something that we want to get rid of. So I just want people to think what their role is. That's why I have so many mirrors in here. There's a mirror in here, so when you're looking at these people, you might see your reflection within that. So I'm hoping that people see their reflection in here and say, you know, what's my role in these things?
Thank you, Brian. We wish you success here with Art Prize 2022 at Grand Rapids African American Museum and Archives, and hopefully we'll actually win some money and some prizes too.
Well, if my message gets across, that's all I really am happy about.
Thank you.
Yeah.